G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here. Not so picturesque today, but I did find a tree which is better than whatever else I'm looking at over here. Ah! You can't stop nature, can you? Probably just a quick video today, folks. Alright, I'll walk away from the bird a little bit. Oh, it dragged the video out of it, didn't it? Only a couple of items really I wanted to talk about today. One was the squad. So the squad's been finalised for Tottenham Hotspur, by far the greatest football team the world has ever seen. And looks like both Eric Dyer and Larissa have got in the squad. Which I mean, is, you know, it's the way it is, isn't it? There was room in the squad. What are you going to do with them? It looks like tearing up contracts wasn't on the cards, and I mean that's what I would have preferred, and I think quite a few fans would have preferred. But I get why it hasn't happened. And if they're still going to be at the club, then what do you do with them? You might as well give them numbers. I'm sure Ange can keep an eye on things, make sure everything's ticking over nicely and there's no dissent in the ranks. So I'm confident about that. And you know, I mean, maybe not so much with goalkeepers because we've got 5 million goalkeepers, but defenders, look, if between now and January we have a crisis, then, you know, like it or not, there's Eric Dyer. It would have been better if he had gone during the window and we'd have got another defender, but you know what, that didn't happen. You know, there's a bit of traffic over there. See, not all Sydney is beautiful and lush. There's a lot of construction work. Ange might never stop. Sydney just never stops constructing stuff. So there you go. The squad's out. The deadline was 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And you know, in fairness though, you know what was looking to be a pretty hard task earlier in the summer window, because we had a squad of, I don't know, 36 players at one point. It has been trimmed down to the point that we can put Eric and Hugo in the squad. Now the other thing is, by the way, yesterday I was mucking around with video settings because I've got an idea of something I want to do. So I was mucking around with things. So yesterday's video was a box. It was a letter box in a pillar box. Not my intention. I forgot to change something back, but I've got an idea. I won't say what the idea is yet because I might not do it, and then you'll all go, you know, because I know you lot are out like out there in internet land. You always pick me up on my mistakes, even though I'm not infallible. I'm not infallible. I know the other week I said it was Liverpool away and it's Liverpool at home. No one caught the other error I made though, because I made 2 mistakes in that one and no one picked up the other mistake. The other mistake, for in case you didn't spot it, was I said Man City are in disarray with all the Sancho stuff and Anthony, and what of course I meant to say was Manchester City. No one spotted that one though, so now and then I can get away with these little faux pas. Now the other one is Richarlison. Now I've only seen the quote. I haven't seen any reaction to this because I'm just driving and sleeping at the moment, so I've got very little time to look around the traps on the Spursosphere. But it looks to me like what Richarlison was saying is that it's 2 separate things he's got. He's got his form on the pitch and confidence. He's acknowledged he's had a bad few months, but he wants to get back in and get the goals happening. So that's one thing. And I think what he's saying is that I wouldn't say breakdown, the reason why he's upset and in tears at the Brazilian game was there's something else going on in his life, and he said that he's going to get some help with that side of things. So I think that's a positive thing. I don't think those 2 things are necessarily interlinked. I don't think it's a sign of anything more severe, or you know, I suppose everyone's going on about mental illness at the moment. It sounded like to me, from what he said, is that this other thing that's going on in his life is just, it's like one of those, you know, temporary crises that everyone has in their life, and they can get on top of you, but that's not what's going on the pitch. It's just, you know, lack of confidence. He said he thought he was playing well, and you know what, I would agree to him with a certain extent. He's not playing super bad. I know he had a wobbly start to the season, but then the game against Bournemouth, I thought he had a decent enough first half. He was doing his part, his work as part of the team. Goals didn't come, but you know, sometimes goals didn't come. And then Sonny comes in and gets a hat-trick. So I hope people aren't out there are not pulling the trigger on the old mental health issue, because let's face it, mental health a lot of the time doesn't make you worse at what you do, especially if you're in some sort of sporting field or artistic field. Sometimes the reason why people are so good or get involved in these things in the first place is because they have, you know, some sort of issue. So you know, mental health isn't an impediment necessarily, and it's not something you have to get fixed before you can carry on, because a lot of issues are not fixable. You just have to learn how to you know, manage it, I guess, is the way. So so I hope Richarlison's all right. I hope what he's saying is the full depth of it, but I admire the guy for saying he wants to get some help with this other issue he's got, and hopefully, you know, that'll be fine, and it'll clear his head up a bit. That's about it for today, you know. So I'm not going to drag it out. I'll see you guys sooner, hopefully, rather than later. In the meantime, I'll just say peace and love, man. Come on, you Spurs.